Everybody. How are you doing, guys? Welcome to this another live streaming. This is very unusual, but I'm going to start off this live by probably bringing something to your attention. Because I had made a promise. Did say that when we get to 400 subscribers, that I was going to come up with an intro for the live streaming. So for those who were not aware of it, I have always had an intro for my videos, but that is for my pre-recorded videos. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, I actually love the intro to the pre-recorded videos, I should say. There is an intro for the pre-recorded videos. Sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't use it. But of course, recently I have been doing mostly live streaming. So I have decided that I actually need to have a intro as well. So the last time I checked on the channel, I think we were 399 members strong. So what that tells me is that I need to have the live streaming intro in we will get to. Oh, is my connection not so strong? Okay. So as I was saying, I'm working on the intro. The first thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to show you the intro for my videos, my pre-recorded videos. Afterwards, I'm going to tell you what I intend to do because as I've said, I quite like it. So what I'm planning to do, even before I show you, is that I was thinking that, okay, I could use the same intro minus the music that you will actually be hearing. So instead of having the music for the live streaming, along with the picture, the video that you'll be seeing, what I'm going to do is to do like a voiceover. So give me just a second and I will actually show you what the video looks like. Okay, so I've fetched my mobile phone. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to show you what the video is like. Okay, and you'll be hearing the sound as well. So let me see. It's not very long, so I have to wait just a minute. Wait. I'm not hearing any sound. Okay. Don't mind. What I'll be doing it over. I'll be doing it over. Okay, let me see. How do I get it to play again? All right. Okay. So I'm going to show you one more time because I could see my lighting reflecting there. So here we go again. Okay, so this is what I actually have for my recorded videos. So like I have said, what I'm planning to do, I want to use the same visuals because I think it's nice. I want to use the same visuals. I take pride in creating this one, right? What I like. So what I like about this one, I actually like the colors because I actually like bright colors. So I think that it represents me really well. So I like the visual. But what I'm going to do is that I'll keep this one, like I've said, for the pre-recorded videos, but I am going to change the music that is there. I'm going to do like a voiceover because I want to make it, unique, individual like myself for the live streaming part. So I hope I don't know what you think, guys, but this is what I am planning to actually use so that going forward, I will actually have a little intro to the live streaming. Okay, so with that out of the way, it is time for us to look at the topic that we will be discussing or that you'll be hearing in an interview setting for today. And it has to do with, how do you feel when you are being compared to other people? I know that for some of us, it is like a sore point. We don't like to hear about it. Why? Because for some of us, we grew up here, being compared to other siblings. And for some of us, it has left like a bad taste in our mouth because, of course, nobody likes to be compared to another person, especially if it is in a negative way. Unfortunately, some of the sibling rivalries that you actually hear, believe it or not, they are due to parents actually comparing, sibling with sibling. One person feeling, okay, yeah, I'm better than you. Another one trying so hard to actually prove that, look, I'm good too. Or sometimes what they do is try to damage the sibling who is seen like a goody two like a to be a goody two shoes. So it's never good. But this evening, this morning, this afternoon, tonight, what you will be hearing is some people actually telling us how they actually feel when they are being compared to other people. Hopefully, what I will do is that we will listen. There are a total of 5 people talking. Also, what I actually did as well, in addition to interviewing people verbally, there were some people who actually gave their response on paper. So I actually have those. I'm not even quite sure how I'm going to do it as yet. Perhaps what I'll do, I'll play one of the interviews. We talk about it, then I will read, the response from some people as well. See how it works out, right? So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to actually play the first interview, the first response that the one person has given, and then you are going to see if you actually, feel that way as well. Because I'm sure that people not like to be compared with to other people is nothing new, and perhaps you'll be able to relate to what some of these people have to say. So I'm going to here's the first one that I will be playing. So I'm going to put it close to the microphone.
Personally, I don't enjoy being compared to anyone. It depends on what you're being compared about. If you're being compared about someone in a negative way, then obviously you're not going to enjoy it. But it's kind of good because you know what you need to change in. If you've been compared in a positive way, it's a bonus, really, just a compliment. But being compared in a bad way, being compared in a bad way, it doesn't feel great at all. But you can take it in and positively and use it for yourself and try to better yourself.
Okay. So this person, do you agree that sometimes when you're being compared to other people, you can actually take on board what the person is saying, what about the other person, and you can use it to improve in certain areas. What do you think? So that it was what one person think. I'm going to play a second one, then I'm going to refer to something else.
So being compared is nice because being compared as like South that South London girls don't really have a good reputation. So you try your best not to be like South London girl and you try to be different when it comes to stuff. You situate yourself around but like just being compared in general shouldn't be a thing. Like it's like being assessed. stereotype typical. You wouldn't like that to happen to you, so you really want to do it to somebody else. But everyone's different in their individual ways. Even if someone may seem similar to somebody else, there's always one thing that separates them from each other. I'll say another way that's used, you can be compared with people is like in your family. Like me, I'm the youngest in my family, and whenever I would ask to get something, especially like a pet, my parents would be like, "Oh, because so and so didn't look after her pet and it ended up dying, you can't have it." So it wasn't really fair, and it's kind of like it's not fair to take an opportunity for somebody else because of somebody else made a mistake about it. Also when I travel, like throughout London, like throughout the UK, I mean, I have friends that live in like Birmingham, Manchester, and they always like, especially because of the way my face is situated as well. I have like a very serious face. Sometimes I don't really smile, and they always think I'm either upset or I have a resting bitch face. But it's just the way I've had to like kind of do that because of the area that I live in. You can't really walk around being all happy and cheerful all the time because people take the piss out of you. So being compared to like a typical South London girl, whatever.
Okay. So is that something that you can refer to where sometimes in a family where because one sibling actually did something, then automatically the parents actually will use that to judge how everybody else will respond, will react in a certain situation. Some of us can relate to it. And of course, if you are on the receiving end, meaning you are the person who is being denied, the right to something, you are actually going to feel a way and perhaps would respond or would see, being compared to other people as something that is really negative. Okay, now I'm going to actually read what somebody says. So this is coming from Saturday Bug. So actually, I'm using what I would say not the right names, the names that they want me to actually call them. This person says, I am quite an individualist. I like being known for who I am and not trying to be anyone else. When people try to relate me to someone else, I spout off a response listing all the ways that I'm not like that other person so as to separate myself from the other person. I try so hard to be myself and retain myself that I don't want that to be threatening. Of course, I try not to be rude when I respond to people who compare me because people get sensitive when you tell them that they are wrong. It's weird because I can relate and find similarities in everyone I know, and I'm fine with that. But when someone else points it out, I freak out. So are you that type of person where, of course, they always say, okay, you like to dish out things, but you can't take it. So this person is saying, weird enough, I like to compare people to other people. But when they start comparing me to someone else, I freak out. I do not like it. I get angry. Are you that type of person? Can you relate to that way as well? I must say, nobody likes to be compared to another people. We all like to think that, okay, we are individuals, we are big people, but you never can tell. Perhaps people see similarities, and if it is similarities in a bad way, then nobody likes it. What I'm going to do is to play another response and to see if you can relate to this one. Here we go.
Well, I don't really like being compared to other people, especially because can have different people, but it can be bad or good in the same time, depending on the person. Some people can think that being compared to someone else is actually a good thing because I don't know, some of them may be looking like celebrities and thinking like they got something special on them. But in my opinion, I don't really think that it is a good thing because I actually think that I experience a lot of me being compared to someone else, or I mean, being compared to a different person that I am, because I have actually straight hairs. Uh, that's really confused me of my originality, and I always being compared to Indian or people that are not African. So because I am Mauritian and I mean I'm really a mixed person, I am a bit African as well, and some of my friends actually discriminate me sometimes because of my way of talking in English. I really think that comparing yourself to someone else, I mean, comparing yourself to someone that you're not, is not really what I like. I mean, it does really affect you, but it also makes you stronger because it makes you realize of the way that life is moving. I think that in the future, this will also be increased because of the new generation coming up and because of social media, everything will be increased because of cyberbullying and things that are going to impact lives in general. So, in conclusion, I think that comparing yourself is just not it.
Okay, what do you think about this one? I'm sure that, for each of the response that you are going to get, the responses that you're going to get, you probably will be able to relate to one more than the other. In this case, this person is saying, look, being compared to other people, sometimes it actually affects you, but to him, what it does is that it makes him stronger because he realizes that, look, the world is changing and it's only going to get harder. So already he is developing his resistance. He is turning it into a good thing in that it is strengthening him as he go along as well. He doesn't like it, but he is turning it into a good thing. Okay, going back to one of the paper responses. So this person says, Anthony, he said, in general, I'd rather not be compared to anyone, but I must admit, when it is positive, it feels really good. And I'm sure that for a lot of people, if you are being compared to somebody, if it is in a good way, it makes you feel good. But if it's in a bad way, that's when you flip out. So this person is saying yes. So he says, but I must admit, when it is positive, it feels really good. My dad one time said to my brother, God damn it, why can't you be like Anthony? He actually listens right in front of me to my brother. So his dad was comparing him to his brother. He was there, the brother was right there. I must admit that my brother is really a difficult person. By the way, he keeps parties at my parents' house when they go on holidays. His grades are poor and he's always getting into trouble at school. The time I've been told you are so real compared to all the other guys. Of course, compliments make me feel nice, but I don't compare people. I judge them on who they are. So you can see that this person, he's saying, look, even though I don't compare people, you know, when I am being compared, when someone else is comparing me in a good way to say I am the good person, then of course he sees it as a compliment, and that actually makes him feel really, really good. Okay, let's hear one of the other responses. I think there are two more, and let me see and tell me if you can actually relate to them. So,
I think when people compare me to others, I find it very weird because everyone likes to be viewed as unique. Everyone does different things and kind of makes different perceptions about themselves, and people can view him differently as well. So, one example that I can give when I was being compared is because I come from a very small country in Europe where people don't know a lot of people that are from there. So when I've said before that I'm from this Eastern European country, people have related it to like prostitution, human trafficking, all of that. So I found that extremely weird because at the time that I was compared to these people just because I'm from that country, I was actually underage. So it was kind of weird to me how people can make the link between these two things. And it kind of made me not like being compared because everyone is different regardless. Like you could be from the same country, you could live in the same area, but still your mind is going to work differently. So personally, I don't like being compared just because of the implications it has. It kind of encourages stereotypes as well. In a family situation, I would say I'm pretty independent. I don't like being compared to other people, or when I've achieved something, I don't like when somebody will say, "You've you're like your mom or you're like your dad," because I have my own individuality. So that's something that I value quite a lot. And I think, from my personal opinion, everyone is actually different because they might be similar, but they would do things in different ways depending on their life experiences. So to me, being compared, it just doesn't make sense because there's some similarities, but you cannot account for everything. Everyone is different at the end of the day.
Okay, what do you think, my family? Because in this case, what this young lady is saying is that when you compare people, it's like you rob them of their individuality. If you especially know this person will say, "Oh, you're just like your mom, you are just like your dad." What she was saying is that, look, people have different experiences. No matter what you think, there is going to be something that makes them really, really different. Interestingly enough, all the respondents are from, I would say, different countries. But what I find interesting, and I found it interesting, and I'm still finding it interesting, is that by and large, nobody likes to be compared to other people. People feel proud in their individuality, and of such, they don't want to be compared to other people. So let me read what one of the persons respondents here said on paper. I think that being compared makes everyone angry, but comparing one person to another is pretty dumb for this reason. Everyone is different, and everyone has different skills and traits and quirks and everything. Comparing two people just doesn't work. It's like comparing apples and oranges. And you can't say one is better than the other because, again, apples and oranges, they are different. Only you know how good you are. And you are as good as you see yourself. You control that. No one can decide your value. What do you think? Perhaps other people would agree to this what this person said as well. Only you can decide, how you being compared to someone else, how it affects you and how you react to it. You can either use it for your good, or you can sulk about it and be sad about it. But by and large, some people, when they say that when they are being compared to other people, they find that they actually start changing up things about them. They try to be as different from the other person so that people will stop saying that they are similar to other people because they want to be individuals. When you look at it, guys, you could say that, okay, so if people are changing of who they are because they don't want to be compared to somebody else, Or to be honest with you could look at it another way. There are some people who actually see something in, for example, their favorite celebrity, and because they want to almost look like that celebrity, want to be compared with that celebrity, they go out of their way to probably spend money to start dressing like that celebrity, start doing things to their person to actually cause them to look similar to the person who they actually worship. So when you look at it, there are good and there are bad to it as well. Okay, what I'm going to do is that I have one final video to play, meaning from the respondent, and then we can talk for a few minutes, and then
So what I think of being compared, I think being compared, in my personal experience, I don't think it's always good. Like being compared to someone else, I don't think it's a lot of time when people are being compared, a lot of times it's a negative thing. When being compared to someone else, it can have a negative impact on you. But I think sometimes being compared can be a good thing. It makes you to realize some things. It makes you to want to be a better person. Even though as humans we don't really like admitting someone is better than us, sometimes it's good to admit that and work harder to get to where the other person is.
what do you think, my family, about that one? Where you're saying, okay, even though I don't like to be compared to another person, if it is something that is highlighting my shortcoming, then of course I can work on it, improve myself so that, at least I will be a better person. So if you should look at it from that perspective, then of course, you could see that comparisons is not always a bad thing, right? If you are being compared in a negative way to say you are just like XYZ, you are no good, then nobody likes to hear that. And as much as we don't want to know, sometimes it can affect their self esteem. A lot of parents, some of us are as parents, are so guilty of it in that we have different siblings. Of course, there is the saying, seven brothers, seven different minds. So all your children will be different, different personalities. Some will give you more trouble than others, but you still have to see them as individuals and not say, why can't you be like that person? I prefer that person. Because look, if you should do that or continue to do that, what you are doing is that you're robbing people of their personality, their individuality. Instead, what we need to do is to probably change it up, not just say, oh, why can't you be like that person, but to say, okay, let us do things this way. So without even referring to the other person, parents, we are parents for a reason, right? Especially when you're dealing with younger children. To a certain extent, we know how to manipulate these children, their thoughts. So, what you need to do, use it to your advantage when you want them to change. And of course, I know a lot of parents actually do that already, where you actually use a little psychology to get children to start behaving in a certain manner. So instead of comparing them, use all that knowledge that you have been blessed with, we have been blessed with, to actually get people to change if we want them to change. That's children, right? Children. However, still accept their individuality, work with it, and just find a way around it. And of course, for those adults who actually are affected, I hope that, like some of these people have said, that you would use it. Because I know that some people, have been carrying like generation burden. They have been keeping malice with people because of how the parents have treated them, always comparing. So some people are vexed with the parents, not openly, but of course, they have it at their back of their mind, and they will say that what you have said to me actually affect me psychologically. What you can do is to turn it around for your good now, just like you have heard some of these people said that, look, you can use it for to build yourself, make yourself stronger, and you can also use it to improve yourself so that you will be a better person. Now, if you have gotten to the end of this live, my family, hey, just click on that subscription button if you have not done that as yet. And while you are at it, click on the subscription as well so that you will be notified whenever I upload a video. And, yeah, whenever I upload a video or whenever I do a live streaming, just like I have promised to mark that 400 family members strong, I will have an intro, proper intro, but I think I want to do probably a little Q&A to celebrate it because, when we get to that 400 members strong, then definitely it is time for us to say, yes, as a family, we are actually doing this. We're going full force. We're not going to stop because, until you get to a certain number in your mind, you're thinking, okay, are we going to do this? Are we not going to do this? But I think a good solid getting to 400, we can say, hey, this is actually happening, right, my Destiny family? Thank you for your support as usual. And until I upload another video, take care of yourself and, of course, enjoy your weekend. Don't forget to share my videos. Thank you to those who have been sharing my videos. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend about the Destiny family where everyone is welcome. Take care of yourself, my friends. Take care. Bye. Bye. Peace. One love.